Hey there, book lovers. Good to see you after a long break. In today's myView on Books episode, we're going to look at Ruskin Bond's When the Night Falls. An interesting fact is my short movie Doll Doctor is inspired by this book. Alright guys, you're watching MW, I'm MaddiE. This is another episode of myView on Books. In today's episode, we're going to look at Ruskin Bond's When the Night Falls. So this book is a collection of 10 short stories, and the specialty of this book is all the 10 short stories are haunted stories. So 9 stories are written by different authors, and one of them is written by Ruskin Bond. And if you see, as a writer myself, to write a story within 10 to 15 to 20 pages is difficult, because you need to have characters in a story, and when you have characters you need to develop them, give meaning to them, give characteristics to them. So it's really difficult to write a short story, and that is what they have done, and they have achieved quite an interesting feat here. All the 10 stories are really good. It makes an impression out of you, and it may not be haunting or give you that feeling of paranoid, but still the way the story is developed is good. So I'm going to reveal and spoil 2 stories for you, and then I'm going to leave it to you to purchase the book and read the remaining 8 stories. So the first story is 3 sisters, and it's about 3 sisters. So we have Ursula, Tabitha and Eunice. So the story begins in a way that Ursula, the elder sister, is in a deathbed. She's sick and she's about to die, and she tells the other 2 sisters that please lock up this room, because after I die I may come back to this room in the form of ghost and may give you troubles. So this is how it starts. So Tabitha is the second sister, and she wants the property to herself. Now that the elder sister is gone, she and Eunice, the younger sister, are the only ones left. So she wants the property, and she's trying to lure Eunice into giving up the property, or tempting her to do something else. So this is how the story progresses, and Eunice is a very naive character. She being the youngest sister, she's very innocent and playful, but then she becomes paranoid, because since Ursula, before dying, she said that she might come back in the form of ghost. So she feels like she's having hallucinations, and one particular night she's just frozen to death, just from the fear of seeing a ghost. So we are not clear whether she saw a ghost or not, but then she dies, and finally only Tabitha is left out. So this is the whole story, and if you see, it's just 15 to 20 pages in length, and it was very good to read, even though it was not petrifying or stupefying. So this is one of the stories, and the other story is Doll's Ghost, which is the inspiration for Doll Doctor short movie. So the original story goes by in a way, there is a doll doctor, and he is basically he mends and fixes toys, and he gets attached to his toys. So this is how the doll doctor is exposed, and there is a rich family in the town, and the daughter's doll is broken, so it is being given to this doll doctor, and he fixes the toy, but he gets over emotional when it comes to giving the doll away. So when it's time to pack, he tells his own daughter to pack the doll and give it to the family, return it to the family, and he just doesn't want to see that scene, packing the doll and giving it away. So doll doctor's daughter packs the doll, and she leaves to return the doll to the rich family, but she never comes back. It's becoming very late in the night, and at the same time he's getting worried that okay, the daughter has not yet come, but also he's having some nightmares in his own home. So he's feeling that he's hearing some voices, especially so the doll's name is Tina. The doll that came to him for fixing name is Tina. So he is hearing Tina's voice in his home, and this voice is asking him to go to some places, but he's more worried about his own daughter, so he just wards off these things, and he gets out of his home in search of his daughter. He can't find it. He can't find the daughter anywhere. He goes back to the family and he asks about the daughter, but they say that nobody came to return the doll. So he's worried, but still he's hearing the doll's voice. and that voice guides him to a hospital, and there he finds his daughter injured and getting treatment. And when he asked what happened, the daughter says that as he was trying to return the doll to the family, she was attacked by a bully group. So they tried to take the doll away, but she was hugging it so tight, and she didn't allow them to take the doll away because it's very the father is very fond of the doll, so she thought that she shouldn't let anyone take the doll or hurt her. But eventually it goes out of her hands and it gets broken into pieces. So that's how the doll dies, and comes in the form of the voice that guides the doctor to the hospital treatment. So the daughters tried her best to save the doll, but since it got broken, it means that the dolls died, and it came as a ghost to guide the doctor to the hospital. So these two are the stories, and I've told you the complete stories. So as you can see, there may not be horrifying elements, but the way the story is narrated and how the characters are developed are really good. I was interested and intrigued to read all these stories, and I did read all the 10 stories. So and it's a very good book for beginners, because you have short stories, hardly 15 to 20 pages in length. So even though you cannot read the whole book, people who are trying to read book, people who want to read book but doesn't have enough time, so they can start with such a book like this, which has only short stories. So you can try to read 1 or 2 stories and move on. So that's it. The book When the Sky Falls by Ruskin. Do purchase it and read the book, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. We'll catch up another episode of myView on books. Until then, it's MaddiE and you're watching MWM. Do follow MWM Instagram, Facebook and Twitter to get more insights, because everything can't be published in YouTube. Yeah, so bye bye.